Yeah, hello. I'm the person of FOG Mado, the number one-stop shop importer. I'm the founder of Morning Smile GH, and today, being a fateful day, I would like to share with you a video on how to assemble the dressing mirror with chair. I've received countless of complaints regarding assembling the dressing mirror, and today I'm going to assemble one right before us, step by step. So the first and foremost thing I will be doing is to assemble the stool. So assembling the stool. So when you see this very part, these are the various parts of the dressing mirror. There are others that I've kept them on the sofa. So in order to fit the dressing mirror, the first thing you need to look out for is this very part. So you realize that there is one hole here, two holes here, there's another two hole here. Right before it, you see another one here. So you see it. So there are two among the parts. They are very equal in size, just as you can see. So you take them nicely. Then the next thing is you look out for these ones. The ones that this very part that has two holes here, another hole here, this here and that here. Sometimes this very one that has these two hole here and these two hole here, the base of it is curved. The base of it here is curved. So mine is not curved, but probably in yours you see that the stool, the base here is curved. So let's see how we're gonna assemble the stool in the dressing mirror. The next thing that you need is, among the screws, you see this very metal. You see it carefully. You take it out and you separate it. The next thing is to take this one. This is the cover for the stool. So you need this as well. So what I will be doing, you take this very wood, then you look for this very tool is rubber. So you see this hole here, this very hole here, you put it so that this hole faces this part. So I fix it here, then I press it. You see what I'm doing? So this hole should face this very hole here. So I fix it carefully. Then I do this nesting, the same to the other holes. So you do to both woods. The next thing you have to do is to take this metal, then you position it at the center of it. Then you look for the screw, the smaller screws. I'll show it to you in a jiffy. Let me select them out. So you take 4 pieces each. So you see these screws very well, these small screws. You take them out. Then you need a star screwdriver that can screw this. So you see, so you position the metal at the center of this wood. Then you screw it carefully. You screw it here. So you kindly observe what I'm doing. Then you take the next screw, then you screw it carefully. You have to do the same thing to the next wood, this very one. So you position it. When positioning it, make sure that the metal falls at the same level of the wood. It should be at the center of it. And ensure that where you are screwing this metal is at this, where you fix these tools. So let me screw this also. So you see what I'm doing. Let me screw it first. With all due respect, this is going to take a little time, so I'll plead with you to take your time and watch it carefully so that you understand how to assemble the dressing mirror without any hassle. That's great. So the next thing we are gonna do is to take the long screws. I take these screws. You see it? This very one. So this is what I'm gonna do. So you see this part. See where I've fixed this? So you now position it to this. Or you put the screw here. You put one here and put another one also here. So you see what I'm gonna do. So you see these two holes here. Look at it carefully. So I now fix this here. Then I take my star screwdriver. Then I screw it to grip firmly. Then I take the next screws and I fix it here. I slot it here. Then I now take the next wood. Then you fix it. Then I screw it carefully. When you insert the screw and you are screwing and it's not going, it means how you have turned this thing, how you've positioned it is not well positioned. That's why the screw is not going through or it's not penetrating. I now take the second wood. Then I get this screw here. I fix this also here. I take another. I take this. I fix it here. I take next and I fix it here. Then I bring this here. It fits in perfectly. Then I screw. So you see what I'm doing. So you screw it well, and I come to this side also. Then you screw it nicely. So you have to tighten it well so that it's well tightened. So I screw this. So well, this is as stool. I am about 90% done. Stay with me and I'll just finish. So I now take the base of it, or sorry, the top of it. Then I now put it here, fix it well here nicely. Do you see it? Then I take the same screws that I used for the two. You see these screws? You see it carefully? So after fixing this on top of it, we now turn it this way. So please come with me and come and look at what I'm gonna do here. So I now bring the screw here. So I tighten it, or I screw it to grip to the seat of the stool. So watch it carefully. So assembling this dressing mirror or the stool is quite simple, but somehow complicated if you haven't done that before. So I now come to the next part also. Then I screw this part. You get it? So I'm still on it. I got it. So you just screw it nicely. My supervisor is in to observe if I'm doing the right thing. Sorry. So you screw it. Sorry. Whoa. So well, this is the stool for the dressing mirror. You might be thinking that sitting on it will get it broken. No, the heaviest person in Ghana can sit on it. You watch it. Oh, this is the dressing mirror. The stool for the dressing mirror. I'm done assembling it, and you see it. So, well, folks, you can sit on it and do anything that you want to do on it. You understand? You can do anything that you wish to do on it. So, folks, this is the first part in assembling the stool for the dressing mirror. Stay tuned and see you in the next video where I'm going to teach you how to assemble the drawers. You get it? The side drawers. So thank you very much and see you in my next video. Bye bye. Well, thank you for staying tuned to the next video. In this section, I'm going to show you how to assemble the the drawers for the dressing mirror. So the next thing that you would need is, you see, among the parts, so you pick this out of it, then you see this wood which has two holes here, then behind it you see this line here, then two holes here, you see this line here. They are of the same size, okay? So you take it, then you put it aside together with this. You put it somewhere, then you look for this wood that has this line here, then two holes here. You get it? Then you add it to it. Then you look for this very big one which has two holes here, and this line here. Then you take this square slit, then you also add it. So the next thing that you have to do is to look among your screws. Then among it you see this black screws. So what you're going to do is to take this very long one like this, then you screw it here. You screw it here just as I've done it here. So you screw it nicely. Then the next thing you would have to do is to look among your screws. Then you get these screws. You see it carefully? Look at it carefully. So this is what we're gonna do. So you turn, if you are facing the pink, you face it this way. Then you use this. You see this? So you slot in these screws here. So you see how I'm holding it. Then you see this very one. So this is how it's going to look like. So you bring it here. Then you take your star screwdriver. Then you screw it. You take your star screwdriver. Then you screw it nicely. Look for the next one also, then you screw it. Sorry, it hasn't fallen in. Let me do it nicely for you. So you just take your time, please. You take your time and you just observe what I'm doing, then you do same. Okay? Whoa, it's not sitting on it. Let me just take my time. Let me take my time, please. But I think if you're smart enough, you observe what, you will surely understand what I'm trying to fix. Let me unscrew this so that I give him more space to check the other side. Sorry for the delay, but I need to take my time carefully. You take your time and you observe what I'm doing. So this is exactly what you're gonna do. Let me just take my time, please. I'm just trying to beat time. So well, this is what I am expecting you to do. You get it? So these things that I've shown you, there are 3 in it. So you do same to the rest. Then the next thing I expect you to do is to take the black screw, then you fix it here. You fix it here in those 2 holes at the other side. So you fix this also here. So it's supposed to be 4. You pick another one too, then you also put it here. Then you take your star or flat screwdriver, then you use it to tighten it well, to be well gripped or well screwed. So you kindly observe what I'm doing, so that you also do same. So you just watch what I'm doing, then you also do same. So the next thing is to take these 2 wood, the one that has these 2 holes here, has this here, and behind it has this. So the next thing we're gonna do is to, in your tools, you see this, the metal one, this very one, you see it's nice, it's metal. So you see, so you see this hole here, when you check carefully on it, on this very part, there is an arrow on it, but I don't think my camera will show it to you clearly. But when you are having it and you see it, you see the teeth of it, then you put it here like this, you fix it here. So this side or the arrow should face this part. So I then put it here, put the next one here, then you take the next 2, then you come to this side also, then you put it in. So you observe what will happen next. So the next thing is we then take this that has this. So watch what I'm gonna do. So you see these lines, another, it should be here like this. So you see it, then you take your star screwdriver, then you screw this side, you screw it so that it is well tightened. Then you take the next one also, this one, so you turn it this way so that the lines will fall in the same angle. So you put it here, make sure it sits very well, then you take your star screwdriver, then you screw it to tighten it very well. The next thing we're gonna do is to take this slit, then we put it in between the holes. So that it sits very well. Then we now take this, then we use it. You see what I'm doing? This part should fit should enter this hole, then this line here will now enter into this. So this is what we're gonna do. Well, then I take my star screwdriver, then I use it to screw this side also, then the other side, then screw it. You get it? So well, this is how the drawer is. This not the drawer for it? Just look at it. Very nice, very nice. So we have to assemble 3 of these. You do same to do this. So I'll pause the video and do the next 2 drawers. And in my next video, I'll be doing the side of the dressing mirror. So you observe what I'll be doing in my next video. See you guys. Well, thank you for staying with me. Well, we are done assembling the drawers for the dressing mirror. So you see it carefully, you see it nicely. So there are 3, just as you can see. The next thing I would like to walk you through is to assembling the side of the dressing mirror, the other side of it. When we assemble it, you understand the specific aspect of what I'm talking about. So what you're gonna need is to look among the parts. Then you see this this wood. You see this very one, it has 3 holes here, 3 holes here, one down, one side here, one side here. So you look for it. Then this, there are 2, so you look for the next one. So do you see it carefully? Then among your screws also, you look for this very screw, this one, the rubber one. So you take it, then you see this, the hole. You see the hole, come forward. You see the hole here, so you fix one here so that the hole here should face this very hole here. Then this one, its hole is here, so you let the hole on the rubber screw face this part. So you observe it carefully. So I'm going to fix this one. This hole here should face this side. So I do same. That's very good. So I have the 2 here, so you see it carefully. The next thing is there is another wood that is a bit wider than these 2. It also has is having the 3 holes here, so I have kept the things in it already. Then the next thing you have to look for is this one is only 1 in it, so you see it. You see this very shape, so you look for it, then you put it aside. Then you look for this very wood which has 1 hole here, 1 hole here, 1 here, and the bigger one here down it. So you take the rubber screw, what I've shown you, this one, then you fix it here. You see that there is a hole here also, so you fix it as I've taught you on this carefully. Now the next thing that we are going to do is, you see we have 3 of these. 2 are of the same size, but 1 is a bit wider than the rest. So what you are going to do is you take this wood, this one, this very one that has the hole here and the other thread. So you take this screw, you take these screws, then you take the wider wood. So you see this part, the one that I have kept, this thing here, so you put it on this. So watch it carefully, what I'm going to do. So I then put the screw, this screw here, you see it carefully. Then make sure where I've kept this face the down part. So I put it here, then I screw. You screw it nicely. The next thing is to take the other two, then you take 1 screw, you insert it here. Then this side should face this one. So you see it. You do same to the last one. So you make sure this part also face this place. Then you screw it. So you see what we are having. So when you fix it, you realize that where I've kept those 3 screws here are not showing here, they are not showing, but rather they are showing here. So you see it carefully. So this is what we are going to do. You see this very one I've taught you, I've spoken of. So you take it, then you fix it at this side. So you take these 3 of these screws again, Then you insert it here. You insert one here. You insert the next here. So that it takes form like this. What we're gonna do is to fix it here at this side. So here is it. Then you screw it. You see that I'm screwing this, it's not going, which means I then need my flat screwdriver. So I come and turn this carefully, good. So I then screw again, it will go. It should go now. It's not going, so let me turn it well, position it well. Let me do it well so that you see what I'm doing. You see that it's not straight, so it means the hole on it is not facing, so the screw is not able to penetrate. If it is not going well, you need to take your flat screwdriver, then you observe what I'm gonna do. So you fix your flat screwdriver here so that I grip it well. Good. Now it's in. Let me screw this side also. Let me take this side. Then you screw it. You screw this side nicely. You tighten it very well. So the next thing we're gonna do is, you see this part, you take the rubber, this type, this very one. Then when you come here, you see some hole here, so you ensure the top of it, this side, this hole faces this side. So do you see what I'm doing? Do you see that it's facing the hole on this rubber? It will face this part. So you insert it in it carefully, then you press it. We will need this some other time. So this is the side of the dressing mirror, well fixed. So you see it. So you do this and you put it down. Okay, so we are done with this side. So see you in my next video. Well, welcome to the next lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to assemble the bigger drawer. Okay, so there are few things that you're gonna need. So you first of all look for this wood. This wood that has two holes here. Behind it, it is having this line here. Look at it carefully. There is only this line here and these two holes here. So these are two. There are two. So this is the next one. So you see it carefully. Now, in these two holes, the hole that you see up and down, you see these screws. You see this particular item. You see it nicely. So just as I've taught you in the previous videos, so you make sure this part, there is an arrow on top of it. There's an arrow on top of it. You let that arrow face or shows or points this hole here. So let me put it in it. So you take the next one and you let the arrow face this part. So allow it the top. So you do same to the other one. You do same. So you see, so I'm on the two. So you see that I've faced it here. Then you put it somewhere. Then you look for this wood which has this bigger hole here, this long line here, then two holes at the very top. The next thing we're gonna do is to take these screws which has the black thing on it, the black rubber on it. So you put it here. You then screw it here again. You do same to this part. Don't just use your hand to just screw it and leave it. When it goes in successfully, you then take your screw the star screwdriver to tighten it to be well gripped to its position. So I do same here. When you are tightening it, make sure it's straight. It looks straight, okay? Then you add it to the next one. Then you look for this long wood which has 2 holes here, 2 holes here, then the line beneath it. Then you take the black screws, this, then you put it here. You screw it here. Observe exactly what I'm doing and you do same. So you on, we are getting a dressing mirror being assembled. So you get it. Then you take your screwdriver, then you drive it in nicely. So you observe what I'm doing. You come to this side also. When you are screwing it, you make sure it's straight. That's very good. Then you add it here. The next thing is to look for this slit or this plywood which is in a rectangular form. You see it nicely. So you take this like this, then you also put it here. So we are done. The next thing is among your key that came attached to this. So the key is in it. So you see it. So these are the things in it. This one is in it with this ring and 2 keys. That's very good. So you now take this, then you position it this way. Make sure the line goes down as I've held it or I'm showing it to you. So you now take this very one. You can insert the key. So let me open it. So you see that this one has projected up. You see it has projected up. So you see it. Good. So this part will show to the top. So let me just close it and remove the key. So you see I'm repeating, let the line be, this line should be your guide. It should be at the base. Then you connect this here. Then you take this ring, you put it here. Observe what I'm doing. You can take your star screwdriver to position it well. Good. Do you see it here? Then you take these screws, these small screws, you see it carefully. Then, then you put one here. Then you tighten it or you screw it. This is how we fix the key. I'll tell you one secret about fixing the key, so that when you are locking, the movement will be free, or it will move freely. You take the next screw. You know it's supposed to be 4, so you make sure you get 4. Remind me, as I said, I'll tell you a secret in fixing the key. You know, when you are screwing, don't screw it fully to tight it fully. Let it loose a little. The reason is when you fix the key in and you are closing, and close and open is not that free, it means that you have over tightened this too much. You get it? So you need to lose it a little, okay? So you need to lose it a little, just a little, but it should be well screwed there. So you get it? You see, now I've tightened it again, and closing and opening is becoming difficult. So I have to lose it a little, lose it a little, just a little. Good. So now I put this down. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I take the long one, then take this very one also, then I fix it here. Make sure the lines here they join very well, and this wood sits on the long one here very nicely. So you check and you tight again. I take the next one, then you tight again. So you kindly observe what I'm doing and you do same. So you then take this slate or this plywood, then we fix it here into these holes. So you just watch it exactly like what we did for the so when it's not sitting, it means that you have to position it so that it sits well. You just take your time and you do it. It will sit. That's very good. So you now take the one that we fixed the key on it. So you see this hole here should come and face it this way. Then you take your star screwdriver, then you screw it to grip it. You take the other side as well, then you do same. So this is the bigger drawer. So we are on course. Okay, folks, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to assemble the table. Okay, so see you in my next video, and thank you. Well, thank you for staying tuned to the next lesson. In this lesson, we are going to assemble another part of the dressing mirror. Okay, so I'll show you the things that are needed in assembling that very part of the dressing mirror. So among your thing, you see this wood which has this line here with one hole here, one hole here. So you see all this thing on it. So you see everything on it carefully. Then one is longer than the other. So you look for this one also. There's one hole here, has this same thing, then two big holes here. So you see it carefully. So you put the shorter one on your left, then you take the longer one, you put it on your right hand side. The next thing you have to look out for is this wood, which has one hole here, one hole here, and this very line at the top. Okay, do you see it carefully? So the next thing we are going to look out for is to take your rubber tool like this. Then, as I taught you earlier, so you see one hole here, small hole. So the hole on this, so you have to make sure you position so that this hole here face this side. So I've taught you this on countless occasions, so I expect that you will be able to do same. Then you face it here. So you do same here. So you can, this one is quite technical, so I'll plead with you to observe what I'll be doing. So this is what we are going to do. You see this line here and this very line. You make sure you put this on it so that this line will sit on this. Then you take one of these long screw, you see it carefully. Then you turn this like this, then you fix it here. So as I said earlier, you see this line and this line. This line should join this. Then you take your flat screwdriver, then you tighten it. Or you screw it. So you tighten it. Then you take this very one, the short one. So you take these screws, the metal one. As I said earlier, there is an arrow pointing somewhere on it. So you let that arrow face this part, these two parts. So you face it here. So you do same here. Then I now turn this one. I raise this. and I take long of this screw, so I put it here. So you see this line, I'm going to do same and screw it here. So I screw it. So you observe what I'm doing carefully, and you also do same. So this is what the shape that we are going to get. So you see it carefully. So the next thing we are going to do is to get the next thing we are going to do is to get the wood that has one hole here and another here. So you take your, as usual, the rubber one, the rubber type, then you fix it. I'm sure by now you know how to do that. So you do same here. Then you take two of the screws. Then this is what we're gonna do. Let me turn this. So you see it. Don't let this side face outside. So you should rather go inside. So you see it carefully. So I now put one screw here, put another one here. So you observe carefully. Then you screw. So you screw it, so that should be well tightened. So this is what we are doing. So the next thing is to look for this board, which is somehow square with one hole here, one here, this line. So you take notice of these things nicely. So you see it carefully. I'm repeating. You see, then this line. Then you take this this type carefully. Then when you come here, you see this hole here. As I said earlier, you let this hole, the one here, face this part. So I insert it. Then you do same here. So this is what is going to happen. You see this line here. So come to this part. You see this line and this very one. So this one will come to the back like this. You see it? So this is what we are going to have. Okay? So let's observe what I will be doing the next time. So in the next thing, I don't put this on it. I rather take this slate, the one that looks rectangular. So you see these two holes here, then I insert it here. I insert it here nicely, so you see. So the next thing I'll do is to you see this part, I take these black screws, this one, and I fix it here. I put the next one here, as you do. So I screw it. So that while screwing, make sure it's straight and it's well gripped. So you observe it. So you observe exactly what I'm doing. So you see these two parts and this line here is going to sit on this part. Look at where I've kept these screws here. So I then put this here. Maybe you may be wondering what I'm gonna do here. I'll talk to you about it. So just watch it. Make sure these two holes, these two screws sit on this. So the next thing you do is, you see this part, you take your star screwdriver inside and you screw it in. It has sat on it nicely. So the next thing you do is, you see these two holes, let me remove this. So you see these two holes here, you see these two holes here, these screws are going to enter it. So let me pull it back a little. Mr. Abinas? That's very good. Then you screw it. Whoa, it didn't enter. Let me check it well. Make sure it sits well on it. Other than that, you suffer. So I have to unscrew this. So you make sure the top of it sits on it very well before you do the tightening or the screwing. So you see it, then I can unscrew. I'll show you what we're gonna do at this part, so don't worry. That's very great. So you see it. So this is what we are having now. So you see, so this is where we'll put the drawers, the 3 drawers that we fished first. So you see. So folks, thank God we've been able to assemble this. But before we go, let me show you what we're gonna do here. We take these ones, as you know, as I kept on saying, there's an arrow on it, so you let those arrows face these 2 holes at the top. And you press it in and you leave it this way. Let me remove the drawers because we'll be going inside to do something. So now I'm done assembling this part and all that. So you look at it carefully. Right now, I can now put it somewhere, and in my next video I'll show you what we're gonna do next. See you guys. Are you done? Well, welcome to the next video. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to assemble the side that you can slide the dressing mirror, the mirror itself, where you can slide it, the back of it, so you can assemble those things on it. Probably what I'm trying to describe, you might not understand it, but when I'm done, you will perfectly understand. Let me quickly show you the things that will be needed so that it will help us in assembling the aspect of which I'm talking about. So you look for this wood that is in a rectangular form with this line here, with one big hole here, one here, one here, one here. Then you see this carefully. You put it somewhere. Then you look for the next one, this one, which has another hole. There are 2 different things. You see it? So this one is here, one, then another line here. Then you look for this wood that has this line here, one hole here, one hole here. You add it. Then you look for this wood, one hole here, one hole here, one hole here, one hole here. There are 2, so you take it, then you add it. Then you look for this miniature wood in a rectangular form, one hole here, one hole here. There are 2. So you see one hole here, one hole here. Behind it, you see that they've made some demarcations, some marks on it. Look at it carefully. So they've made some marks on it. So you see, this one also has the same thing. You see it. I'll show you what it's meant for. The next thing we are going to need is this very metal. You see the rollers, or the whatever they call it. So you see it. So I'll show you what we're gonna do. So let's get started. So you put one, this here, and this one also comes. So you take this one and you take the rubber one. So there is a hole here. So you know by now, you should know how to fix anything like this. So you take your long screw, then you make sure you this line should join this line. So you fix this one here, you put this here. You see what I'm doing? So you screw it. You screw it nicely. When screwing, you make sure you get your angles right. So you make sure the line falls, the angle should be right. You take the next screw, you put it here. This line should also join this one. So you screw it. So you tighten it very well. So you see what we are forming. So let me turn it this way. So the next thing is you take this that has this hole here. Then there's another hole here. So by now you should know how to, anytime you take the rubber tap, you should know how to fix it. So I don't take the next two screws. So this is what we're gonna do. You see this hole. Now there are two here at this part. Then when you come here also, it's also 1, 2, 3. So we are going to make use of the top ones, the very top ones. So I put this here. I put another. So you see it. So when you see this part and this part, where it has not been coated, you let it go down. Then you see this side, it shouldn't go to the top, it should rather come this way. So you fix it also here. Then we screw. You may be thinking that what I am fixing now, or I'm screwing now, will block the line. It will not block, it will be hanging on it. A second, please. Let me position my thing well so that I can screw it well. That's great. When you are doing that, you make sure the top here takes the level of this. Then you screw it. You look for the next one. So you see this side white, you see? So you take the rubber, two of it, and you see a hole here. You make sure this hole faces this hole. That's great. That's good. So you take long screws. Don't let this side face the top, it's rather face down. So we put this here. You take your screwdriver. I repeat, when you are screwing, make sure this one here takes the level of this. You come to the side, you ensure it takes the same level. Now, you see this to this, we take this rubber one, then there is a hole here, we fix it in nicely. fix it in nicely to have this. So the hole in it is facing here. You do same to this one. You do same. So this is what we're gonna do. Let me put this here. Now, this is where the problem is, where a lot of people have been facing problems. So you see this ruler or whatever they call this, but you know, you see what I'm sliding. Now the next thing we're gonna do is to take this out. So we need to take it out. So I have to show you a trick of how you can take it out. Okay, so let me show you just a second to show you how you can take it out. Now you see, you turn it this way, then you pull it out. Do you get it? When you pull it out, watch carefully. You see, when you pull it out, you see some rubber here, black rubber lying on this very long one, this one, you see it. So you press and hold it. So as you press and hold it, this thing should come out. No, you see, this that is out. Good. Let me do the same to the next one also. You see this one, you pull it out. When you pull it out, you see this one, this very one, come down. You see it carefully. You see what I'm doing? So you press it down, then you pull it out. You see it? So that's very good. Now you take this wood like this. Then this is what we're gonna do. It's going to come here. So look at it carefully. Do you see that? Do you see where this white is? You see it? So you pull it out like that. So let this be your guide. Then this side should be at the top for the first one. So you then get your small screws. You get your flat screwdriver. You remember I told you, I spoke about this marks here. So you put your thing on it, then you make sure you see those marks carefully. So you take your screwdrivers. So when you observe here, you see the marks here. You see them here. You see the next one here. So you position this on it as I'm doing. Then you take your screw. Then you fix it in. You screw it. So you screw it a while. Then you wait. Then you come and position the next one to the next mark on the wood. Then you put your screw on it at that part also. Then you screw. You screw it. Then you come to the other side also, and you screw it to grip the metal to the wood. So I'm done. So you have something like this. You see. So let me quickly do that for the next one also. So you let this side face the top. You know, we have removed this one already. So the marks, this should be your guide. Then you don't close it, but you open. Let this side be at the right hand side. Then you take your screws, these very small screws. Then you take this on it until you see those marks on the wood. Carefully. Then you screw it as we did for the first one. So you screw. So you screw it nicely. Now the next thing we're gonna do is to get these screws. Then you take one of these. Then we bring this back here. So you see this hole here. There is a hole here. There is one also here. So you take this. Don't turn it this way, please. As it's standing like this, or let me probably turn it this way so that you best understand what I'm gonna do. So you see this part, it should rather come to the top like this. So you take the next screw, then you put it here. Then you screw. You screw it nicely. Then you screw this side also. Make sure it takes this angle nicely. So you screw it. So you tight it well. Then you take the next one also. So you see it. Then you take two of this. So there is a hole here and there is one also here. So you make sure this hole here goes to it. Then the next hole here also goes to this part. So I put one screw here. And I put the next also here. So I screw. I screw so you observe what I'm doing. So great. We are somehow done with this. Let me screw this or tighten it well. So I then take this wood, this plywood. So you see these holes here. So I then put it inside. Woo! So you see it. We are on course. We are perfectly on course. But notwithstanding that, let me quickly show you something that we're gonna do. So you see that there is a big hole here. So I've taught you how to face this, that there is an arrow on it. You let that arrow face this part. So you put this one here. Then you put the next one also here so that the arrow faces this part. Good. So we can now put this somewhere. You get it? So the next thing I would like us to do is, you see this very wood which has big holes here. So this is what we're gonna do. There is a hole at the top. So you take, there's a hole at the top. So you take the metallic type of this. I don't know the name. Then you let the arrow on top of it face this part. So you quickly put it in. You take the next one and you do same here. You get it? So I put this here. So this is what we're gonna do. You take this part, then you position this. This way. You get it? So you take this very wood. Please observe. I want to beat time, so I'm trying to speed up a little. So there is a hole here. So you take the rubber type, then you let the hole here face this side, and you put it in. So you observe what I'm doing, and you do same so that you can get your dressing mirror well assembled. So I'll quickly show you what we're gonna do. I've not kept this in, so let me show you. So you take this wood, then there is a hole here, you fix it in and you let it go the same way. Then you take this also and you do same. So what you're going to do is to you see this part should come down. So you do this. So you see it. You see what I'm gonna do. You see? So you see this part. It should rather go to the back. So you take one screw, then you screw it. You take the next screw, then use it to pass here. Observe exactly what I'm doing and you do same. Then take your screw, then you screw to tight, or you drive it in. You come to this side also, then you drive it in. Let me quickly position this wall. Good. Let me tight this side also. Then I take the next one, and I do same. I do same here. And I do same here as well. You just take your time, please. Just take your time, and if you go, then you screw. So you screw it. You get it. Now you see this one will now come here, but you see that this hose is facing the top, so you observe carefully. You take the next screws, then you put it into the other side. You put it at the other side so that you can screw. I'm screwing it, so you watch. I come to the other side also, then I screw it. You screw it very well. So you screw carefully. So, whoa, this was the button. So you see it carefully. So I'm going to show you the next thing that we're gonna do. So we quickly take this, then take this black screws. So you see this board. So you bring this here, then you screw it. You screw it to this hole. Oh, let me change it. So this where is quite technical, so you observe it carefully. So you screw this also here. I'll show you why we are doing this. Or yourself, you see the reason to this. So you turn it. Sorry. Woo! Sorry. That's when you are in a haste. So you put one here. You screw it. You put the next here. Leave them. Then you screw. Screw them. Then you take the next black screw. Then you put it into the next two holes. Then you screw. Let me sit well and take my time so that I walk you through successfully. And you screw the next one into this hole. So you see it. So we have this here and this here. This here and this here. So this is what we're gonna do. Woo! What's happening? So you see, on top of it, watch carefully. There are two holes here. Two holes here. So this was gonna happen. You see these four screws that I've kept here is gonna enter into these two holes here and the other one here. So you fix it on it. Then you take your screwdriver, come close. You make sure you sit on it nicely. So watch here, watch here, watch here. So you see those. Let me first of all take this out. So you see this that we've kept here, one here, one here. Then the next one is also here. So it's gonna sit in it. Sit on it, I should have said. Make sure you sit on it very well. Then you take your screwdriver to screw it. You just close it. One. And the next one is also here. You close it. You close it to lock. You close to lock. That's very good. So we are still on course. So this is where the big drawer will come in. So you can lock it and you remove your key. You see that I can't open. So that's it. So we are on pause. So let me quickly remove this. Now this is what we're gonna do. The next thing we're gonna do is to take this this one that we have well assembled this. So I take these long screws. Then when you come here, let me show you something here. You see that there are two holes here. You see it? This is what's gonna happen. You see one hole here, one hole here. They will just sit on this. So here is it. Let me turn it. So you put this screw here. You put it here. Then you take your screwdriver. Your star screwdriver. Then you screw. You screw it very well. Then you take the next screw. Let me turn it. Then you look for the next hole. It's inside here. Sorry, it's in here. So you put it here. Then you screw. You take your screwdriver and you screw. So let me screw this, tight it very well. So folks, we are on course. You get it? We are on course. So the next thing we are gonna do is to take this part. You take this part. So you see what I've kept on top. Come on. You see what I've kept on top. When you watch here carefully, you see two holes, one here, one here. They are going to sit on this. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. So it sits on this. That's very good. So we are on course. So you see those, come forward. So you see this part. So you put your screwdriver here, then you tight it. The next one is also at this part. So you screw it. And it's well tightened. The next thing is to take these long screws. You get it? Then you come and put it here. Good. You put the next one, there is a hole here, so you put it here to screw this very part. So you tight. And you tight this one also, or you screw this. You take your time, then you do it very well. The next is to, you see this part, there is a hole at the other side. So you take your screw, then you insert it here, then you tight. So you do your driving very well. You first of all check if this thing is well okay. If you realize that you are tightening and it's not going, so you get your flat screwdriver. It's gonna be heavy, but it should go. It should go. Let me just get it. So if it is not going, you need to lose this part so that you get it right. Let me just take my time. I lose this also because the other screw is not going, so I need to check what the problem might be. So I need to turn the back also, and lose everything. So this is what happens when one screw is not going through. So you have to lose everything. So let me just take my time, and since this has occurred, we need to check it out so that we can have a complete dressing mirror for ourselves. Because of one screw not going through, you see the struggle, but we're gonna sail through soon. You get it? So this is the issue. So let me see why it's not going. If I take my star screwdriver, so I need to change the position so that it can go well. That's very good. So let me quickly do that. Now it's going well. You see what's happening? That's great. So I'm going to screw all again. So let me start do from behind. I'm turning it because there is one here that has to be screwed. You see it because of one screw. So I then turn it again. There's one that has to go, you remember? So we put it here. Then I screw. I take my star screwdriver to screw it very firm. I then screw the rest fully. The next one is also here. Very nice. So you just take your time and you screw it very nicely. Don't rush it. That's very great. So here we are. So the next thing I would like to walk you through is the mirror itself. The mirror itself. So let me pack all this that has dropped so that I can show you how we fix the dressing mirror, the mirror itself. So let me quickly bring the mirror. So well, this is the mirror. So you see it. Can you give me this carefully? So you need this. Everything is very, very important. So this is the dressing mirror. Let me show you one secret. You see, when you take the dressing mirror, my cameraman is being shown. So you see, one side of it is curved. You got it? It's curved. Then when it comes to the back, you see that there are these punches here or marks. So we then put the dressing mirror on this nicely. Then you see this, you take two of these small screws. So this is what's gonna happen. You see this side should rather be this. You see it nicely? Let me see. Because the mirror is supposed to go this way. You got it? So since the mirror is going that way, it means it has to be this. You get it? So this, oh, we're gonna fix it. You get your, look at it carefully. You see this part? You see it? One part is closed while the other is not. So you put it and make sure the marks shows, the two marks shows at each other, at each point. Then you screw to it. Please don't step on the mirror. So you screw. Don't screw fully until you screw the other part also. This part, it should enter into the pin or the mark on it. Then you screw. So you can now tighten the same. So you do same to this part. You see this part where it's closed, this part. So you make sure these are the marks. You put it on it so that it shows. Forgive me, this is quite lengthy, but we need to get it done so that I can help others who are out there. Then you screw. So you screw this part also. Well, so well, we are done. I'm gonna show you how to put the mirror on this. So you need to open this side, you need to slide this side like this. You got it. So what we're gonna do is you see this hole here, this side has to enter into this. You get it? So observe me carefully. Observe it carefully. Sometimes you need a helping hand. But when you're alone, I'll show you the techniques. Or probably if you need a helping hand, what you need to do is to get a second person or another person to hold this side so that when you are pushed sliding into it, it doesn't go in. So you get someone to hold this side and hold the other one also so that you can fix this into these two parts. But I'm alone. But watch what I'm gonna do. Let me quickly turn this so that you can watch it carefully. So watch it. So I make sure this falls into those things. So it has to fall in it very well. Then I push it because I'm alone. So I then push it. So well, this is our dressing mirror for your apps. Let's quickly put this here. Put this here. Put this also here. This also here. We then have our stool. So well, I'm done assembling the dressing mirror. So that's very nice, and thank you for watching. I'm really grateful. If you have any challenge, never hesitate contacting the numbers on your screen and I'll get to you linked up. If you are in need of importing anything like the dressing mirror or any item that you want to import into Ghana, never hesitate to contact Morning Small GH and we will walk you in the nitty-gritty, in the step-by-step ways of importing anything of your choice, dealing directly with suppliers, how you pay suppliers, how to source, procure, and ship your items to Ghana, and you're gonna make it big. See you in the next video. Bye bye.